Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, we will discuss about rural poverty. Rural poverty in different decades was different. In 1960s, economic growth was increasing. In 1970s, the economy didn't grow much. In 1980s, the economy grew again. The economic growth was increasing, and in 1990s economic growth was declining. The income inequality at that time was declining, but the inequality has been increased in 70, and the income inequality declined in 1980s, and the income inequality again increased in the 1990s. So you would remember that when there is economic growth, the income inequality will be declining. Income inequality means that in society, when there are a lot of poor and some of the rich people, but improving the income level of the poor, so that is called decreasing the income inequality. Due to economic growth, the income inequality can be improved. But if there is no economic growth, then there will not be improvement in the income inequality. In 1960, poverty raised from 40 to 47%. Almost 50% of the rural population in Pakistan were poor. But in 1970s, this number was declining from 47 to 31%. Then in 1980s, the poverty declined from 31 to 20% in rural poor, and 1990s 22 to 34% people. The poverty has been declined and the people were poor in these rural areas. Then the agriculture sector grew at a rapid pace. Then in 1970s, many people migrated to Mid East. 63% of those sent back to remittances, and agriculture growth was again improved in 1980s, and the performance of the agriculture sector was good in 1990s as well. So this table shows about the rural poverty and its history from the last few decades. Classification of rural population. There are two types of people living in rural area: landowners and land cultivators. Landowners are those who have their own land, and land cultivators are those who cultivate the land. Either they have their own land or they don't have the land. So cultivating households are based on owner operation, those who have their own land and they operate in their land. Then we have sharecropping tenants, those tenants who are working, or farmers who are working on share 50-50 or 25-75% with the landlord on their commitment on cultivating their agricultural land. Then we have owner tenants. Owner tenants are those tenants who have their own fixed term or other contracts, and they have the land and they cultivate by their own decision. So non-cultivating household are landless farm workers. Non-cultivated household are landless farm workers. Landlords are also included in it. Landless non-farm workers are also the part of non-cultivating households. Then we have characteristics of rural poor. Lack of land or landless, you can say. There is a little land with the people, with the poor people, and they use mostly stay in the houses of the landlord. Sharecropping tenants are also the rural poor. Then some of them have contribution resources and skills. Some of the tenants, they have the contributions towards their land or they have resources of and skills in the agriculture practices, because they have the experiences in agriculture practices and they can contribute in agriculture growth. So majority lack of assist and skills. There are many and majority of the people in these rural poor, they cannot contribute and they don't have contribution in agriculture growth, and they have lack of skills in agricultural crop cultivation. Then we have rural poor depend on non-farm incomes. So rural poor are usually depend on non-farm income. Characteristics of urban poor: lack of employment opportunity. Then we have underemployment, and then we have population. So population is higher and underemployment is also there, because the employment opportunities are not available to the people. So mostly people are hired on daily wages, and very lower wages are being paid to these people. Then we discuss about agriculture growth of Pakistan in different decades. Agriculture growth of Pakistan in different decades are in 1950s, 1970s, 60s, 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s. In 1950s, agriculture growth was declining. In 1960s, agriculture growth was increasing. In 1970s, agriculture growth was declining. In 1980s, agriculture growth was increasing, and in 1990s, agriculture growth was again increasing. So when agriculture growth is increasing, so the migration, if the agriculture growth is declining, then the migration, rural urban migration, will be higher. But if the agriculture growth is increasing, then the rural and urban migration would be declining. So here in this we study about the migration is also declining, increasing due to the agriculture growth decline. Then waterlogging, salinity was there at that time. Lack of infrastructure was also one of the main problems at that time. Then improvement and water resources were take place when the agriculture growth was increasing. Subsidies to agriculture sector were provided. Subsidies were provided to agriculture sector. So subsidies is the amount extra provided by the government to the people in order to give them relief. So then introduction of new varieties of seeds, so new technologies and new seeds were introduced at that time. Then agriculture growth were low quality of seed were used, due to which the agricultural growth was low. Political crisis were there in 1970. Droughts and floods came in the country. Droughts means that the flood came and the destruction took place in the crops. The land reforms 1972 took place, and widespread of privatization were introduced at that time in agriculture growth. Then agriculture policies were changed in 1980s. Transfer of the activities from public to private sector. Then new cotton varieties, credit facilities to the farmers were provided. So the agriculture growth were increased due to these changes took place in 1980s. Then in 1990s, widespread of mechanization farming were introduced. New varieties were used in seeds, both in technology as well, and advanced pesticides were used at that time. So this is the agriculture growth of Pakistan in different decades, and you can study from your own notes as well. So please thoroughly study about it. Then we have importance of land. Land is actually a symbol of or indicator of social and economic status of a person, of the people. It helps alleviate poverty. It reduces dependence on landlord. It reduces dependence on labor market for the employment. So land has much importance, and land can give social status and economic status to an individual within a society. Thank you.